What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Wednesday mid-week live stream. That's all right. Let's do. We have haters. It happens. That means we're doing something right. It's all right to have haters, everybody. It's going to happen. So my fellow YouTubers building their YouTube out there, if you get some haters, you get some trolls hating on you, that's a good thing. Don't feel bad about that. I got to make sure I mute this computer here. 1 second here, everybody. I'm just going to... As you can tell, I'm actually sitting in the studio right now, but we are not, in fact, running the Streamlabs at the moment. I will have that back up for everybody come probably Sunday's show, let's be fair. But anyway, everybody, I hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to Potsquatch Growers here. I'm going to go back to the beginning here and say hi to everybody. All right. What's happening at Ken is this? What's happening at Ganchinani, your mama? What's happening at Visible Farms, Pilgor? What's happening, Alvin Mace? Good to see ya. What's happening, Shiz Khalifa? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Jeremiah Sanchez? What's happening? All right. What's up, Bill Stewie? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Romans? What's up, Chris Barton? What's up, Bradley 909? What's happening to Chris V? What's up, Rick DeRosa? Hey, yo to you, buddy. Eugene Dolan, welcome to the show. Red Claws, hey baby, how you doing? All right, what's up, Eddie Evans? Good to see you, my friend. V Real, hello, my friend. How you doing? What's up, Hip Dog? Fun name, I like it. What's up, Carmike the Stoke? What's the hap with you, baby? I'm doing all right. You know, we're just sort of living here at Potsquatch Growers, rocking and rolling. As you can tell, I'm sitting in the studio, but I'm not using what we normally use for running the stream. We are going to switch back to running studio stuff very, very, very soon. Simply put, you know, it was just easier to do this one. Hello, Alien Jesus. Good to see you. Sup with you, my friend. Good to see you. Yeah, we'll be back to the normal shit very, very soon, everybody. You know, it's been a chaotic week here. The computer has moved on and moved into their own apartment, and getting the house and the studio back under control and sort of researching stuff. And one of the things I've been trying to do as well is because you know the last few jars and stuff like that, I was like, I got everything off the thing, did a quick clean on it, so I've been working my way through doing the last a little bit of trimming there, and then you know I'm going to be moving on to I got a lot of bubble hash runs, and even using 20-gallon bags, I'm probably going to realistically have to run about 6 to 10 bubble hash runs, but I'm looking forward to that. Carmike the Stoke says it's all good. You can run it from a white closet if you wanted to. Well, hey, funnily enough, I used to run it from a closet with a Mylar. But, well, maybe not the live streams because we didn't start doing live streams till we moved to the new house, I do believe. But, yeah, what's up, MCR 420 MCR? Good afternoon to you as well. The Hindu Kush turned out really, really nicely. Super dank, super stanky. Super crystally, super dense, amazing yield. You know, not only did I get pounds upon pounds upon pounds of smokable tops, I've got a solid, huge, giant garbage bag of smalls and other little bits of trim for my trimming that I'm going to be able to run in and do a bunch of bubble hash with. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited to make some bubble hash. You know, normally, as you know, in the past, we've been doing a lot of dry ice runs with our leftovers or our smalls. This time, I'm going to attempt to take the slower process of making bubble hash, because really, at the end of the day, I almost feel that when I do my dry ice hash runs, they don't make quite the same level as rosin as I get in terms of doing bubble hash when I press it into rosin. So that's what I'm looking forward to. On a rant about toilet paper today, toilet paper is a lie. Really? Because I just used some. It seemed pretty real. But I mean, there's probably more to the story that I'm not missing, or that I'm missing. And yes, I agree that PTSD can be very real. I have also had PTSD myself in a couple of different situations over the years. So it's most definitely there. Am I going to do FF or dry bubble? I'm assuming, do you mean like drying out my bubble before I press it? Yes, I will most certainly dry my bubble out before I press it. I don't like having excess water in any sense in terms of my rosin press and stuff. I agree with you, Shiz Khalifa. You know, depression is very much a real thing. You know, a lot of people find it shocking sometimes, you know, that I struggle with depression and anxiety. And the fact is like, I'm an actor, writer, comedian. I mean, a big part of why I became an actor, writer, comedian, I think, from a young age, has to do with the fact that, I struggle with depression, right? But because of that, I also enjoy putting a smile on people's faces and entertaining. And so it is real, though. And just remember, though, that too, more often than not, when you're feeling depressed, I mean, these dark thoughts are usually our own worst demons in our own head shitting on us. Okay, don't give them too much power, and you got to hold on to those easier parts. I know it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, but it is real, and you can do it. What's happening, Harvest Moon Garden? Good to see you, my friend. Fresh frozen or cured flour? Never fresh frozen. I am against fresh frozen in terms of my making of rosin. My personal 2 cents in terms of, especially when it comes to the rosin that I like to smoke and the way I like to process rosin, is it's always properly dried, properly cured flour. So, like, I mean, I'll probably do some presses on some of the tops as well from this run, and just because I love me some good flour rosin, but I will wait till it's properly cured before I press that. I've never, no, I personally haven't played with Frenchy Cannoli's techniques. I have a lot of friends who are very much into Frenchy Cannoli's techniques and have been playing around with them a lot recently, and so they share their fun experiences with me, but I have not done that. Hey, it happens, little Stewie. It happens. Um, but yeah, no, it's going really well here. The babies are finally bouncing back because I mean, one of my techniques that I like to do is when I'm starting new genetics and I'm going from seed, like I like to. Where can you find a toilet? Well, there's a washroom here in the lab, just down to the left. But I like to put them into solo cups. This time I went even further with my technique of putting them in even smaller solo cups. So the small cups I'm using are about 263 milliliters would be my guess in terms of their rough size. So less room than usual because normally the solo cups I use are about half a liter. So nice and root bound, choking them out, forcing them to fight for their right to live and exist and partay. It's going well. So basically, what is my theory behind this approach to genetics? Well, one, I like to see what they do. So first, I like them to stretch where they fall over. Yep, I purposely let my seedlings stretch. I know a lot of people freak out when I do that. They're like, whoa, what's happening? It's done on purpose. Then I wait for them to fight and lift themselves back up. And then I wait till they root lock. I wait till they naturally zap out their own nutrition in terms of the small amounts of soil there. I also then wait till they start to self-desiccate the first set of singular and then trifoliate and sometimes even to the next level of serrated leaves. Then I start force feeding them a little cup and forcing them to kind of bounce back and come back. Why do I do this? One, watching how a young plant under stress and in a harsh environment and not the perfect conditions is actually the first true glimpse in terms of finding supermothers and strong genetics. Also, too, on this run, I'm trying to get some males out of this. So keeping a higher stress level as their babies is going to up my male numbers there, which I'm excited about as well. Plus, also, too, the strong shall survive. And if you start them out with high stress, in a sense, it's not like high stress and we're snapping them, but I would say what I'm doing is pretty fucking high stress to those plants. So if you start them out quite high stress and do it that way, then at the end of the day, you're preparing them for doing other stress training throughout their lives. And really, I just find it does a better job in the end. One second here. I'm just reading. Well, Einstein, thank you. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm technically legally married to a dead person right now, and I have to figure that out. And then get it. I'm already engaged to someone else. But thank you for the love, though, Einstein. If I was single, I'd let you buy me a drink. Anyway, I'm going to read some of these messages here. Give me a second. 1 second here. Okay. What's up, Soul Price? Anyone who I've missed saying hi to, by the way, I apologize for that. One second, everybody. I'm just reading. What's up, Wonky Donkey? What's up, Dr. Geese? Good to see you. All right. All right, so back to that. I've caught up, and there's nothing I really need to address there, per se. So we're getting really close. Basically, probably one of the things I'll do today, too, is, as you all know, in between runs, I like to set off a fogger bomb in my lab. So I've got a Dr. Doom's atomic fogger bomb ready to go. in our flowering room. And then once that goes through, then I'll come through, I'll wipe down the walls, I'll mop the floors, and get everything back ready to launch. Um, I'm wanting to extend my window of stress on these solo cups for about another week. So my best guess is I'll probably transplant in roughly a week. And then we're going to be going straight into 5 gallons this time to kind of get it back up and running. We're probably only going to veg for like 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. We'll see. We're going to keep a lower veg on this one, and we're going to be training them out, start topping them quite heavily, and see what we can create. But on the next run, obviously, we're doing all Gazzers genetics. Okay. So fun fact, Gazzers not only has grown a plant or two, Gazzers has been growing seeds, growing and breeding seeds and et cetera, for probably roughly a decade, even longer than I have. So Gazzers has been known to play with a pot plant once or twice. But the funny thing is, though, here's the funny thing. So one of Gazzer's favorite hobbies is he likes to order genetics from different seed providers and seed banks around the world. He does it quite often. The amount of money Gazzer spends on seeds is astonishing to me. But part of why he does this is, one, because we're seeing what's out there. Two, we're testing our competition. Like, Gazzer is going to be my co-breeder at Potsquatch Growers genetics brand. He will be immigrating to Canada. He's going to come work in the Canadian mountains with me and help us get that going. So what we do is we like to see what's happening out there. So Gazzers tests them. We're going to start giving reports on what Gazzer's experiences are. And we have a big, very, very juicy report to share with everybody about a seed bank. And sadly, it's not a good one. So we're going to get to that in a few minutes there. Mountain Mirror says, I kind of like this British Yeti gentleman Canadian, right? Yes, I am Canadian. I'm not a Yeti, though. That is a cousin of a Sasquatch. I am the Potsquatch there. Hello, Miss K's Garden. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. But, long story short, well, you know what? And we're going to actually probably make a video to this tomorrow as well for everyone to see. But here, I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to move this around so I can actually read the computer here as well. Hey, nothing wrong with that, Shiz Khalifa. I am part Swedish. Not a huge part. Maybe about 10 or 14% Swedish. I am roughly 50% Scottish. The next would be Irish. Then Northern English. And then Welsh. And then Swedish. Then Norwegian. And Germanic. But so I'm a big old mutt. I'm a big old roly-poly mix of Viking and Celtic. What are you going to do, right? What's up, Van Island Beauty? How you doing, my friend? Welcome to the show. But I got to pull up my email here because where I don't advocate us, as YouTubers, shitting on each other and fighting each other. That's bad. I mean, there's too much hate and animosity in our online community. But there's nothing wrong with, calling out a shitty company or a shitty seed bank. So we're about to do that, okay? Drum roll, please. Everyone, seedcity.com is a load of crap. All right, so what happened? Well, let's give you the story on Gazzer's experience. One, Gazzer's has ordered from them quite a few times over a number of years. Has noticed for the last couple of years that the products are getting worse and worse and worse. Seed City both carries their own seeds, their own genetics, as well as represent many breeders out there from the likes of Barney's Farm and many others. The most recent experience of Gazzer's has not been good. Bradley 909, I'm about to destroy your dreams about Seed City. Seed City no longer has a stamp of approval from us. And I'm actually going to make a specific video. And then, because Gazzer's, they're really extremely rude to Gazzer's, actually. And I'm going to read the message back to Gazzer's from them in a moment. But I even told Gazzer's, well, fuck it, let's make a formal video about it tomorrow. And directly target them and call them out publicly. Because, again, there's nothing wrong with calling out a company doing wrong in our industry and mistreating people and taking advantage of people and basically committing what I would call daylight robbery. Okay? So basically, as we all know here, okay, we all know Gazzer's, right? So I think it's safe to assume that Gathers knows how to grow wheat. Okay? Who here, let's do a little fun poll. Who here thinks is Gathers capable of germinating a seed properly? Do you think he's capable of germinating a seed? I don't know if any of you remember a few months ago, maybe 2-ish months ago, we received, I don't know, roughly 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000 seeds from Gathers. Just saying. The man is able to get thousands upon thousands of seeds out of a tiny little plant. So, Gathers spent $700 on seeds. The rough math out on terms of what his order would have been in terms of a seed count was 200. Okay. For the video tomorrow, I'm going to get him to send me an actual list of all the different types of seeds. So it wasn't just their seed genetics. It was actually the genetics of other companies that they sent out as well. Out of 200 seeds, let's have a fun time. Everybody take a guess. How many seeds out of 200 seeds do you think popped for Gathers? Take a guess. Take a guess. Okay, Red Claw's guess is 2. Miss K's Garden guess is 30. Chris Barton says 10. Soul Price says 25. Shiz Khalifa, wow, you're very trusting. 200 out of the 200. Wow. Well, one, it definitely wasn't 200. It's not like you're buying seeds from us. Hey! Hit Dog says 25. Bradley 909 says 15. Eugene Dolan says 5. Stewie Parkins didn't guess anything. Einstein says, we're talking about the germination rate out of 200 seeds, Einstein, that were ordered from a seed bank that we're about to tell you, do not waste your money. They are fucktards. So, Grimdy says 173. James Mercer says 30. Lil Stewie says 32. Okay, perfect. Nice round number there. 32. Okay. Okay. Gonjanon says 75. Okay, Wonky Donkey says 45. Okay. Okay, poll's closed. 12, okay. Trichrome's Rocky Sock says 12. Okay, perfect. 15 from Derek Cloud. Adam Speck says 42. We're going to stop there. Okay? Drum roll, please. 0. Gathers spent $700 and 0 germinated. Gathers has 10 years on my 21 years of growing cannabis. Something tells me the man knows how to germinate a fucking seed. I'm pretty sure he knows how to breed thousands of seeds because I literally own thousands of his breeding projects. Well, not thousands of different strains, but thousands of his work, as in beans. He had absolutely 0% germination rate. Now, Gathers is not a complete asshole. He's actually one of the nicest cocksuckers you'll ever meet. Big, friendly, half Maori, half Dutch Kiwi. Okay? One of the nicest fucks you'll ever talk to. Very knowledgeable, I'll have you, by the way. And so he sent them a message, as you could guess. Gathers wasn't necessarily overly impressed, okay? So, one, here, and for fun, here, before I read the response to you, I'm going to share their fucking website, and I'm going to make a video smashing the crap out of this company tomorrow, because why not? Fuck them. You mistreat my business partner, my co-breeder, and then you insinuate he doesn't know what he's doing? Ha! Ha 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 ha! Get bent. Okay, 1 second. What is I got it in my email here. I can copy and paste it for everybody. Give me a second. Oh crap, I'm on a Mac. How do I copy and paste on a Mac? Command C? No. Command X. No. Command V. Son of a bitch, I'm just going to type it. As you can tell, I am not overly formalized into Mac operating procedures. Bear with me here. I'm just having to type it out. I do believe this is their website of the idiots, all right? So, long story short, Gathers wasn't even really rude, to be fair. Like, he wasn't a dink, he wasn't angry, he wasn't aggressive. He was obviously pissed. to be fair. Okay, but he sent I've read the message. It wasn't mean. It wasn't aggressive. He was just like, look, I spent a lot of money. I've bought off you guys a bunch of times too. And over the last number of years, like, it's just been getting worse. Like, what the hell is this? And so this is their response. Nope, that's wrong. I got screenshots of the forwarded messages here. Oh, bloody hell. Did I not send myself the right screenshots? Oh, son of a bitch. I didn't send myself the right screenshot. Oh, bear with me here. Maybe it is here. Okay. Well, we're going to sum it up, and I'll share it to you in the video tomorrow. So simply put, what they said was, well, we sell souvenirs, so therefore we don't guarantee anything. As well as, there's no way that we can know if you even know what you're doing or if you're germinating them properly. And since it's a souvenir, we can't advise you in any way. Seed City, you're dealing with one of the most qualified growers in an entire country. His name's the Gazzers. He's been growing weed even longer than I have, and breeding weed even longer than I have. I've seen the man's work. Gazzers genetics, 70% of the time, have a 100% germination rate. The only thing that only had about a 60 or 70% germination rate was a batch of seeds that were very, very old. And they still mostly popped. I also will share that Gazzers genetics, when they pop, not only pop, they pop quick, and they pop with some of the most aggressive rootlets that I've ever bloody seen. Okay? The man knows how to germinate a seed, and for you to insinuate that it's his fault is the biggest load of crap. I also watched him pop all 200 of those seeds you sent him next to his genetics. His genetics are about this tall now. Yours are in the garbage because they did fuck all. I don't know how you're doing business at seedcity.com, but this is literally daylight robbery. You are taking advantage of people. You are taking their hard-earned money. You're not standing by your product or any of the products of the breeders who work with you, okay? There's a basic malfunction in something you're doing. I don't know if you're not storing them properly. I don't know if you've just got really, really, really old stock, and then you're, oh no, we gotta make our money, so we're gonna send old shit that we know doesn't work, and we're not gonna stand by anything we do. SeedCity.com, you've been added to the blacklist of shitty companies. It's a new list. Guess what? You're the first one on it. And I'm basing this off of what we've been doing as experiments, and Gazzers ordering it in. We're coming for you. We're coming for any shit company out there that doesn't produce good seed, charges too much, and doesn't stand by their product. SeedCity.com, you are fucking useless. And you also have pissed off the Potsquatch team. Between Gazzers and I, we have roughly half a century of experience. We know how to germinate a seed there, Buttercup. You need to learn how to take care of your seeds. And if you're going to sit there, well, it's a novelty item, we don't have to do that. You're right. But guess what? You and I both know that's a load of crap that you're just using to try to somehow justify yourselves legally. And here, this is a fun thing. Let's go to their website. We're here. Let's first read their about thing on Facebook here. All right. Can I zoom in? No. Okay. I'm going to have to squint, everybody. So we're going to squint, and I'm going to read. This is what their about page says. Seed City is a new business which started in 2010. Well, evidently, you seem to know fuck all. So your 10 years versus our 50 years. Yeah, okay, you win. By people who have had a passion for collecting 5 cannabis seeds for 10 years or more. Okay, so 10 years in like 2 days, that's what you're getting away with. You're trying to imply you're more grandiose than you are. Well, I've been collecting seeds for over 2 decades by myself personally. Gazzers, I'm not even going to put his numbers in there. I'm one person. I already double what the fuck you do. All right. They are dedicated to providing a sterling level of service. Well, so far, 1, your service was crap. You sent nothing. Everything did not pump. And then, when reached out by the Gazzers to yourself, you shit all over him. You question his abilities. And you're basically just really rude. Let's be fair. You're just really bloody rude. Let's continue. This is fun. We know that respect is earned rather than given, and we are looking forward to the chance to prove how committed we are at Seed City. No, wait, sorry. We are looking forward to the chance to prove how committed we are. How you doing so far, Seed City? Not good in my humble 2 cents. Seed City is made up of a group of individuals who care passionately about the collection of these fine seeds and the exhaustive amount of variables in Seed City's fantastic seed selector bear testament to this. Oh, get fucking bent, you fucking snake oil salespeople. My God. No matter your favorite seeds of interest, you're sure to find something new in there somewhere. I'm not debating that you have a decent catalog of seeds available, but if nothing pops, again, I have a better luck at finding a weed plant in Mother Nature than working with your seeds. We hope you enjoyed the site and look forward to providing you with an honest and reliable service. 1, you're not honest. Everything you say in your mission statement as a company is completely contradicted by our experience with you. 2, honest, that's out. Reliable, that's out. 0% germ rate, ladies and gentlemen. 0% germ rate. The one thing Gazzers did say, and he'll give them this, is that their stealth packaging is great. They're great at getting things through. Okay. But what use is more expensive stealth packaging when you're shipping out complete crap? Seed City, Gazzers wasn't sure what to say back to you after how rude you are, and I had a fun idea. So I said, well, guess what, Gazzers, I'm going to make a formal video about Seed City tomorrow. And we're going to tag them in it. We're going to tag their website in the definition. We're going to put everything. We're going to put it everywhere. And then you can send them my little fun video back as your response. There we go. But anyway, everybody, we don't need to keep doing that. That was just sort of a fun little report coming from Gazzers. Because, you know, at the end of the day, as you all know, I don't really buy from a lot of breeders. There's a reason why I'm getting into the breeding game. I have issues with most people in the business and just how they do business. Part of why we're going to throw our hat into the proverbial game there. Okay. But Gazzers, like I said, one of his favorite hobbies is just ordering random weed seeds from all over the place in different companies and testing out the market, seeing what our competitors are doing. Let's even see if what they're sending out, if it does germ, does it even live up to what it's supposed to be? We'll see. We test it. We're testing them quietly all the time. Gazzers probably spent the better part of $20,000 the last couple of years doing that. So, simply put, we find you wanting in fucking useless Seed City. And so that's why we're going to start kind of sharing our findings there. Because like I said, I don't personally test the seed banks myself. I'm not going to send my hard-earned money to someone charging me a bajillion dollars for 10 little seeds or 3 little seeds. I'm going to make my own. Or reach out to my connections of true proper breeders who I trust. And that's where my seed collections come from. But at the end of the day, this is the first report from Gazzers, and we really felt the need to share it for you, everybody. It's been a hard couple of years for everybody. I know we're all tight financially right now, and I don't want you to go waste your money on such a joke of a company that not only is going to take your money, they're not even going to acknowledge your ability. They're not going to acknowledge that. They're going to insult you. They're going to say, well, you obviously don't know what you're doing. Shut up. And they're not even going to try to make anything right. They're not going to send them anything to make up for it. There wasn't even an apology. At least say you're sorry before you tell him to go fuck himself. No, but anyway, seedcity.com. Don't waste your money. Bunch of fucking idiots. Come work with us. Once we're legal, we'll take care of you. Hell, maybe we could do some fun stuff where if you send us proof of them not doing right by you, we'll give you a fucking discount or something. I mean, it'll be a bit of time for us before we're able to go, because sadly here in Canada, to go legal is extremely hard and it's extremely expensive for us, but we are working on it. We are chipping away and fighting away. Right now, we're just developing strains and seed stock for our launch, which we can currently do legally in Canada under my medical licensing. So, but that's why we're getting into the game, everybody. It's jokers and bullshit like this. Customer service will exist again, James Mercer. It will when it comes to us. And we will stand by you, my friends, and be there for you, because really, basically, the basic sentiment of anything we do is based out of people empowerment and standing by growers around the world. Okay. Sadly, Seed City says they feel the same way, but they've proven and been found wanting. So anyway, let's move on. Puppies, be quiet! My dogs are flipping it up and out there, man. Holy shit. So, for fun, tune in tomorrow for a fun little comedic review video of SeedCity.com by Uncle Potsquatch and the Gathers. Gathers doesn't like being in front of the camera, but maybe I can get him to send a small video clip to me that I can mix into the video, like, "You fat," or something like that. We'll see. Who knows? Yeah, I know, Romaines. That's why I'll go buy a lottery ticket today. I can barely afford a lottery ticket right now, but I'll go get a lottery ticket today, and maybe if we all combine our psychic will, we could maybe even just win just enough to get that farm and licenses and afford those here in Canada. Sadly, it's going to cost us about $800,000 to $1.5 million Canadian to go legal, but I don't care. I'm willing to spend that money, even if it takes us fucking 3 years to make that money back. It's the cost of getting into business and being there for people. Again, Walter Wiseman. I mean, if you guys, girls, these and days at home, if anyone has a question about, a specific seed bank, I haven't tried them personally, more than likely, but there's a good chance Gathers has. Like I said, it's kind of one of his fun hobbies that he likes to do, is testing out that kind of stuff. But it was just sad, though. It was a sad waste of money on Gathers' part. And that was the thing. Like, if Gathers had been rude, okay, then maybe giving him a curt, not so nice email back would have been okay. But like, he wasn't rude, and he has every right to be upset. He spent over $700 and ordered 200 seeds, and nothing germinated. That's 200 chances of nothing. Like, that's just astonishing to me. But Gazer says good word to everybody as well. He says, "Don't worry, everybody. He's got 300 of his own seeds that he made, and they all popped. So he's got plants." He says, "Don't worry, everybody. Our seeds are working. It's just theirs that aren't." Well, that's the thing, Matthew Larson, too. That's why I always tell people who are growing outdoors, especially newer growers, make sure you call your males and learn how to even identify the damn male, because even a male that's not that big, that's only like 4 or 5 feet, you know what I mean? That can knock up plants for 14 kilometers. Bradley 909, I think in the end he spent like 700 or just over $700 or something like that. Something like that. I'll have, because he's going to send me the actual printout invoice from when he purchased them. So we're going to have an exact list. And see, this is the sad thing too. They've got to be doing something very, very wrong there in terms of their storage or something. Like, I mean, I'm flabbergasted. Like, you'd expect at least a couple of things to pop, and even then you'd still be pissed, right? Like, I mean, unless I've got a 50% germ rate at bare minimum on seeds I've paid good money for, I'm going to be pissed. If I buy 200 seeds off you, you better have at least 100 of those fuckers pop. Or at least, and also treat me with respect when I reach out. Like, treat me with respect, value me as a customer, or fuck you. We're bringing good business back. And I think that's what a lot of companies and a lot of groups out there in our industry have forgotten about. Well, don't worry, everybody. True legacy people, like myself, like Gazers, and many others that I know in the industry are fighting to get into the game. And we're fighting to give you a better option. And we're fighting to make all these types of things right. That's the thing, Stewie. SeedCity.com is actually supposedly quite reputable. And they sell some of the most reputable beans out there. Not just theirs. Like, they've got Barney's Farm, well, to be fair, there's a lot of them. I mean, well, here, we can even pull up their website. Let's go through their website for fun. Just because why not, right? Let's let me pull up the website there, and we can go through for fun. Let's see what options we have at these daylight robbers company here. All right. Well, they got a decent looking website at least. Sadly, it's all 25% off our bullshit. Save money just to waste your money. All right. So let's see here. So they've got a huge bunch of different things. We got cup winners, we got medical strains, we got strain type. Okay, so one, your website's actually not designed very well. There's a lot of options, but it's not really well. Oh, but here we go. We've got Royal Queen Seeds, White Label Seed Company, Strain Hunters. We've got Bomb Seeds, Heavyweight Seeds. We've got Vision Seeds, Barney's Farm. We'll read some more of those when they come up. But pretty much, if I was any of these companies, you need to stop working with these people. They're not only doing something wrong and destroying all of your hard work when they send it out, they are not teaching or treating their customers with respect either. Buy bundles of our shit. It won't germinate. And then we'll tell you to go fuck yourself. Exactly, little Stewie. But that's the thing. 0 germ rate on all of that. I don't know. Call me crazy. But that's just a load of crap. But maybe that's how seed companies are supposed to work now. I mean, right? It's just a souvenir after all. We're just supposed to put it on our shelves and look at it and go, this hypothetically could make something. But that's it. For a souvenir, I normally spend $5 to $10, and it's usually a keychain, a hat, or a shirt. Seed City, I think you need to get into the game, and I think any of the legitimate breeders that are on there supposedly being advertised in their company, and if you're working with them, I'd give your head a shake and I'd pull out and not sell to them anymore. 0, Einstein. Zilch. Nada. What's up, Texas Squatch? So Matthew Larson, that's a great question. Thank you for giving me a question to kind of get me off my tangent because I've already run my mouth enough, I think. So in terms of long-term storage, I do not suggest ever using a Bovita pack because that's going to destroy your terpenes and flavonoids on that one. Again, that was the whole rehydration video we made yesterday for everybody as well. My suggestion is if we're doing medium long-term storage, aka 6 to 12 months, I would do a cold cure, cold storage in my fridge. If I'm looking to store something for a year or longer, I would do a deep freeze cryo style kind of storage. Pastor Doobie out of Alberta, who actually has a cannabis strain museum, he has strains that are over 20 years old and that he still occasionally pulls out some of them and smokes them on the High as Fuck Happy Hour show. Shout out to High as Fuck Happy Hour, by the way. They're on Facebook. I think they're on YouTube now, but they might just be on Facebook. I don't know. I've been on the show a couple times. But long story short, one of the regular things that they do is on their show is they'll pull out one of these old strains. He'll talk about it, where it came from, how old it is, etc. And then they analyze it while they smoke it on the show. But yeah, so that's how he does it. Is he does long-term deep freeze kind of cryo action on that one. 1 second here. Yeah, 0, Einstein. No seeds. Well, and then that's the thing, right? Like, and Matthew Larson, at the end of the day, too, in terms of my opinion on seeds, right? I don't think it's fair even for us to expect 100% germ rate 100% of the time from any company, okay? That's not fair. We are but simple farmers. Mother Nature is a cruel mistress. But you do want to expect at least a 70 to 75% germ rate on something. And at the end of the day, if you want to go 100% germ rate, you're never going to achieve that. So, if you're prepared as a company to be sending out, replacement seeds, good, power to you. I respect the hell out of that decision as a business. But what I don't respect is one, shitting on somebody, especially when you're talking to someone as experienced as Gazzers, and not doing anything to try to even acknowledge or make up for it. You just make some lame ass excuse. One single little, barely a paragraph. Like, what the fuck? Sealed, foiled, airtight pack. Yeah, so Walter Wiseman, what I would do is I would try to, get as much oxygen out of the package as you want. You don't want to vacuum seal it too much either, though, because you don't want to crush everything, right? Because if you crush your flower, then that's going to lead to terpene loss and flavonoid loss and over time. But I'd get as much of the oxygen out as you can without destroying your flower. And then, yes, deep cryo style long term is the way I would go. But see, Victor, 3 out of 10, still 30%. If Gazzers had had a 30% pop rate, he still would have had 60 babies. Rene Dupont, I mean, there are supposedly labs that claim to do that. And the fact is in my professional experience as a grower, again, much of sex can still be determined in the seedling phase. So I don't know if they can. Maybe it does work. I can't speak to you. I'm not a lab technician. But I wouldn't waste money testing the gender of a seed. That's just a waste of time and money. Pop it, learn how to identify pre-glands and be patient and daily gardening. And that's the best way to go about it. To maximize an irregular seed that's unfeminized, because feminized seeds should never have been created. We should have never used them. They should have never became the industry market standard. It is destroying colloquial weed for the future generations. That's why we are almost never going to ever offer feminized seeds at our company. And if we do offer feminized seeds, it will come from a stable, non-feminized source, and it will only be done once. And in limited edition, by the way. But we're going to make our regular seeds. We're going to be educating people and educating our customers on how to start identifying these things and doing that. So one, not only does it not matter if half your seeds go male, it doesn't matter. We didn't charge you a shitload for them anyway. And plus, we're going to be sending you out males and females that you can then start producing your own seed, thus creating your own seed stock. Thus, therefore, saving genetics for those in your local area for the future. Texas Squatch, that's not good, buddy. You need, I know you've been going to the doctor, buddy, but I think you need to check on that. Yeah, you missed the point of where I was talking about that, Gazzers. I was like, I kind of made the joke to everybody, Gaz. I was like, oh, don't worry, everybody, though. Gazzer says, don't worry, he has plants. His beans all pop, just nothing from them. So, Eric Grantis Artistry. Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to read your message. Eric Grant's Artistry says, so happy to catch you live. I just wanted to say, love what you do and very thankful for your information. Truly a great channel. Oh, well, thank you very much. I do what I can. I'm really passionate about what we do here at Potsquatch Growers, and it was started with the basic mission to help people, and then when it turned into a company and a bunch of different things, we're still about that. That's what we give a shit about. So you're welcome, Eric. Thank you for your very kind words, and it means a lot to us here. Hey, Seed City, this is what seeds are supposed to do. They're supposed to turn into babies, you dumb pricks. Those are all Gazzers genetics, by the way, everybody. Just in case anyone was wondering. Those were all Gazzers there. We got some K-Town by AK-47. We got the K-Town by Cheese, and some Orange Hindu with Whale. Little Stewie, I am most certainly a breeder, and so is Gazzers. I've been breeding cannabis for the better part of 20 years, as has Gazzers. We are very much breeders, so I'd watch yourself right there, buddy. You got a big mouth half the time, Stewie, and half the time you just say crap and put your foot in your mouth. Check your ego at the door, buddy. Check the ego at the door, bud. Matthew Larson, typically you don't really need to put rice grains in your seed storage as long as they've been properly cured and are set. They should be completely fine in a non-reactive glass vial to send it out, my humble 2 cents. But that's just my humble 2 cents. James Mercer says, first time washing my harvest, I followed how you waged your latest harvest. Nervous. Hopefully I didn't fuck it up. Oh, and bud washing. I know it seems scary, everybody. Bud washing it seems scary. Dunking your plants into water like that. But really, at the end of the day, we're just removing some particulate. We're just removing some dust. We're just removing any of that kind of crap that may have gotten into our buds. The plant is still alive, right? And as long as we shake them out properly after we bud wash, it's completely okay. Just make sure to keep air movement happening, but not directly onto your buds. Watch your relative humidity, watch your temps, and do it in the dark, and you'll be okay. 100%. I agree, Visible Farms, 100%. Free the seed and free the weed. Um, so Bradley 909 says, what telltale signs can you look out for in the seedling stage to kind of guess sex? Well, again, well, it's kind of an educated guess, I guess you could say it that way. One, we're starting to look for a pre-glans, right? So basically, typically on a female, okay, we're going to see these long little stamina coming out first, and that'll be happening right at the main segment of the branch nodal. Right at the bottom of that, we're going to look closely. We've got these two nice big long ones on there. That's looking good so far. But then we're looking to see if we see anything that shows up like a bit of an apricot, okay? Little apricots, okay, shapes. Not necessarily meaning it's a male, but it's the start of seeing a male gland start to form, okay? Obviously, if we see a little pistil shooting out of that node, boom, we already know she's going female. Obviously, keep an eye on her just to be careful on herming, etc. But female genetic genitalia have been shown. But if you see that little apricot, and all of a sudden it starts to raise early on up on a little neck, like a little kind of straw in a sense, boom, male. Female glands don't raise up like that. Another telltale sign is if you see something like that doesn't raise up, but then if all of a sudden it develops another one right next to it, no hairs, and then you see these two little apricots or three little apricots in a little cluster at that nodal segment, uh-oh. That's also not looking good because the male glands will bunch and they'll start to bunch out in little kind of clusters, right? And so that's what you got to watch out for, my friend. One second here, everybody, I'm reading. Yeah, and Rena's Dupont, or it might be Renee's, you can totally do it self-contained. Like, I'm going to be doing a bunch of breeding projects here in the lab, in this basement apartment suite in my house, okay? Next to a flowering room that I don't want to knock up, next to other seedling tents that I don't want to knock up. And we're going to go over that and how to do that properly and safely as well as we get into that in coming weeks or the next month or so, okay? So you'll be all right, my friend. Don't you worry. Miss K's Garden, as much as I hate on feminized beans, if that's all you can get to start with, totally fine and totally normal. Don't beat yourself up about that. Feminized beans sadly make up and represent a majority of what's available. That's been a common precedent really for about 10, 15 years now, especially in terms of the market. So it's not your fault. It's like, for example, I got sent by a local breeder, a local fairly respected breeder in my mind, and a lot of my close friends out here in BC really, really like their work. I got sent their menu today on stuff, and because I'm always keeping my eyes open from local people that I like, of stuff I might acquire for my collection. Out of 30 options, I think there was maybe 5, 6, or 7 regular photos, and everything else was feminized. So again, regular beans are harder to find, but they're all I personally buy. It's not my way to go. But at the same time, if that's all you can get, there's no problem there. Just be aware of what it is. That's all. And always keep your eyes open for regular beans, because often the one positive thing, I guess, is often regular beans might cost a little bit less with some providers. They're still too expensive, but I mean, that's something to be kind of paying attention to. Little Stewie, the future is going to be educated, and I'm sorry, I'm going to fight for regular genetics till the day I die, and I'm going to educate people to the proper understanding as I see it in terms of genetics. Little Stewie, go start your own seed company, and we'll see who wins, bud. You can go feminize crap as much as you want. I'm going to do it how I see it, and I'll see who wins in the end in terms of sales. Everybody, by the way, Little Stewie and I are friends. We just we chirp at each other quite often. So don't worry, it's not aggression. It's just me and little Stewie. This is how we show our love. Conan Rider, you can store them in a freezer. I wouldn't store it in a freezer that's super, super low. At the end of the day, I don't store my seeds in a freezer. I keep them at an optimal room temperature, and I've got them in glass and in the dark. If you want to do a cooler thing, I'd keep it in a fridge before I would keep it in the freezer. Yes, in Mother Nature, seeds fall and freeze and survive the winter and then come up the next year. But typically in Mother Nature, she's playing a numbers game. She's dropping a shitload of seed. So some of them will survive through that winter. They're not meant for long-term storage in that way. So for example, if you look at Egyptians, right? Certain canopic jars, and typically, most Egyptian kind of burial crates where canopic jars would be found, burial crates, tombs, sorry, stupid there, typically are running at like an average temperature of anywhere from like 13 to 18 degrees Celsius. Okay, and there have been seeds that have been stored in a canopic jar at the bottom of an Egyptian tomb, 6,000 years old, then removed from the canopic jar, and it still germinates. So again, right, it shows the power of proper storage. The Egyptians managed to pull off a germ rate out, or a decent germ rate on seeds after 6,000 years. That, in my mind, is astonishing. Oh, that's awesome, Matthew Larson. I mean, again, at the end of the day, Mother Nature in general, especially cannabis, is such an amazing, powerful thing. I've seen, drop beans grow on the weirdest shit. I've seen them grow in gravel. I've seen them grow in cars. So, like, someone had some seed in, like, some seedy weed, and they dropped it out, and all of a sudden I looked down, and I'm like, dude, you've got, like, a little seedling growing under your fucking car mat. It's pretty astonishing. What's up, Dr. Green Thumb? How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. 1 second here, everybody. I'm just trying to read real quick. Bear with me, everybody. I'm reading. Ooh, I love a good proper Akabaka Gold. Lil Stewie, I've been on YouTube for 5 years and growing cannabis for 21. And also, if you go back to my original videos and go to the first number of runs, they weren't from clone. I've also grown things I've developed and spent years breeding on the channel. Well, one strain that I showed on the channel, which is Sasquatch. And the fact of the matter is, Lil Stewie, I'll take you on and a breed off any bloody day of the week, buddy. You got a big ego, buddy. And it's not going to get you anywhere in this world. There's a difference between being confident and sure of yourself and then being an arrogant prick and shitting on people. Just my helpful suggestion to you, little one. Okay, so first of all, little Stewie, the genetics that were sent to me are for our company. Gazzer said I'm allowed to share some of them with some people, which I have sent them out to quite a few people, actually, first of all. And they weren't sent to me to sell. Therefore, our genetic stock. Gazzers isn't working his ass off right now for me to sell these seeds. They're all sitting in my vault right now. It's for our company and our genetic stores. You're starting to push my buttons now where we're actually going to have an issue there, little Stewie. So consider this your one and only warning, bud, and then we're going to have an issue. Check yourself, bud. Yes, Grow Big 207. I have used Big Families for that. It actually works quite well as well. The only thing is like a lot of people often find themselves where they don't have any large fan leaves anymore unless they're running a perpetual grow. So totally is a legitimate technique to use, using old fan leaves to do that. But at the end of the day, we don't always have that. Sometimes we didn't grow the weed, it just came to us really dry. So, what do? Well, we pull out the paper towels. You know what, Stewie? I've paid for all of my own fucking liquor there, bud. And you can just fucking watch your fucking mouth there, buddy. 1 second here. There we go. You can do it, Miss Case Garden. I believe in you. One second here, everybody. I'm just playing catch up now. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Lil Stewie, we're buddies, but you know, it's like a weird clock with you, Lil Stu. It's like every three to 6 weeks, and all of a sudden you become arrogant. You think you're God's gift to everything, and then you start shitting on people. And one, actually making false accusations. I've never once sold any of the seeds Gazzer sent to me. Okay, for one. Two, I've given away a lot of them actually. Three, they're not for selling. They're for our company that we're working very hard to achieve. And for your own information, I can afford to pay for my own fucking beer, thanks. Go fuck yourself. Anyway, moving on, everybody. We don't need to focus on idiocy from Lil Stewie right now. Self-made buds, I'm doing all right, buddy. It's been a rough couple of weeks, but I'm doing okay. But overall, I'm doing well. I'm excited for the next run. I'm really excited for getting things going again for everybody. I'm really also quite excited to see what we're going to be doing with this run is trying to keep them a lot shorter than usual. I'm going to be trying to train them out and not have a giant overgrown jungle like last time. Because really, at the end of the day, doing my chores in there proved to be a real pain in the ass. Renee's DuPont, you know, and again, let's talk about the Canadian legalization. It happens, Van Island Beauty. It's kind of a back and forth thing with that. It's like, you know, I have 3 to 6 weeks where he's super nice and respectful, and then all of a sudden, he's a dink. And so I don't know what's going on in Little Stewie's life where he's feeling the need to shit on people, or me consistently every 3 to 6 weeks. But I wish him well. I hope he's okay. But, you know, come on, bud, give your head a shake. Anti-Flow would not be proud, Lil Stewie. Yeah, so let's touch on that though, Renee. So, Invisible Farms, I'm assuming you're referencing the what about the laws. So basically, this is where the Canadian legalization, in terms of a legal reality, has kind of been a really big joke for us in Canada. So the federal government kind of did it half-assed. What do I mean by that statement? Well, it's been made federally legal in Canada. One would assume when federal legalization happens, the same law would apply to all Canadians. This is incorrect. Basically, the federal law was made as a basic legality. Here's the basic set of laws. Then each province is allowed to, on top of that, interpret it and change it further. And what they're going to allow in passing their own provincial laws on top of that. All right? Now, it goes one step further. On top of the interprovincial lawmaking, local municipality. So we're talking even if it's a municipality of a small town of like a couple thousand people, okay, can make their own subsective rules. So for example, where I live in Hope right now, the local municipality has said no legal pot stores are allowed in town, no companies are allowed to have a farm here, no tolerance, zero tolerance in Hope, British Columbia. Which, let's be fair, that in and of itself is kind of a fucking joke, isn't it? I mean, it's federally legal. So, and then if you go outside of Hope, right, on Indigenous land, you've got all the Indigenous grow stores that are booming, surrounding the town. Sadly, I'm fucking whiter than shit. I can't go do that. I'd like to be able to live in my town. I'd like to kind of go into business. I'd like to do my farm. I'd like to do my store. But because of the local municipality, aka we've got a board, 10 fogies, old fogies that are extremely conservative, okay, here in Hope, then they can literally stand in the way of a federal decree over 2 years old. So, and that's where the legalization, the way it was rolled out in Canada between a federal, then a provincial, and then a municipal level, you've got this patchwork of kind of legal crap throughout the country. It's complete bullshit. And then it's completely not fair trade. It's not an open market. It's not an inclusive market. Okay? And at the end of the day, that doesn't seem smart to me. That, like, if you say as a government you want to make a fair open market, you want to eliminate the criminal realities of it. That's not how you do that. That's how you set yourself up to fail. But anyway, and I feel for Quebec, I feel for a lot of provinces, because a lot of provinces, the rights of the Canadian to their 4 plants and their right to grow isn't acknowledged. The only thing any Canadian can do in any province to trump this is actually a very old system, and it's the MMARP, Medical Cannabis Licensing Program. Or no, it's the MMARP is the old one. I had one of those years ago. It's now the ACMPR, forgive me. The ACMPR medical licensing system, still, as it stands, trumps provincial and municipal, and as well as landlords. So if you're a renter and you've got a medical license, that is now your primary residence. You do not have to ask the permission of your landlord to grow cannabis. It is not their place, because if they try to do so, they are now infringing on your Charter of Rights and Freedoms here in Canada, your right to health and wellness. I know this for a fact because I actually took this on in against the university I used to work for many, many, many years ago, who were trying to claim that my licenses weren't valid, that I didn't require Form F. Or I required Form F, which is the old MMARP system, in order to legally grow, and I was breaking the thing, and they were trying to fire me. I self-represented in that legal case. I took on 4 lawyers. I made one speech in a meeting with them. And I explained to them how the law works. And I gave them an out. I said, I'm done talking to you. So, when you realize I'm right and you're fucked, or else I'll sue you with a human rights violation suit back to the Stone Age. If you offered me the severance package plus 2% that you offered everyone last year when you were downsizing, and then you pay out my pension and pay the penalties, I'll sign an NDA. Well, it wasn't quite an NDA, because I can still legally talk about them, but I won't shit talk you. Here's your chance to smarten up. And then they did. They said, hey, like, you were right. We apologize. Would you still like to leave? I said, yes. I don't want to work for someone who's going to try to fuck me this way in terms of my rights. So I'll take my severance package. Best on you. I've also not released what the school was, so I'm not breaking any legal crap here. But so it's just, Canadians, know your rights, know the law, and know your rights in the country. Okay? Just know that. Well, and that's the thing, Rene Dupont, as well as, even though it's not physical law in the country, if you are a medical patient here in Canada and you go and buy from another licensed medical patient, it has been ruled by the Crown that should be okay. So it's not technically law in our country. However, the Crown has already ruled that. So you can reference that court case ruling anytime anyone gives you trouble about that one. And you can actually file it through the federal government as well. To set up a network with fellow medical growers so you can actually sell to each other. It is all very doable. It's very much a thing. Yeah, Tiptoer 1, the Canadian government has always been very special with how anything they do. Gotta love the Canadian government. Sorry, everybody, I'm just reading. Bear with me here, everybody. I can go grab one of my jars for you, Boston Buzz. Just give me 2 seconds. Oh, I have a butter, too. Here, 1 second. Actually, I'll take you with me. And then I'll see if I can shoot into this. Happy Wednesday to you, Boston Buzz. Okay, 1 second here. Forgive the mess. Bloody hell. Sadly, I don't have I can't really turn the light on this perfectly to show you. Can I even shoot this properly through the glass? Not really. It's not really doing anything justice. Bear with me here, everybody. Oh, and that light's even weaker than the fucking kitchen light. Let's see if here. I'm just trying to Find a bud here that we can actually give you an up close, nice, sexy shot of something. Which one of you wants to come out and say hi to everybody? Well, you're a fun little bud. You want us to come say hi? Want to come say hi? Okay. Let's see here. Can I get like any decent light on this? Can I even get the damn thing to focus? Bloody hell. Wish I could get a better shot of this for you. I'm trying, my friends. I'm trying. Will it work under this light here? The focus on these lives on my fucking cell phone suck. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I'm sorry, everybody. Matthew Larson, this phone shoots 4K. It's just in live streams, when you use a cell phone, it doesn't really work. All of the 4K videos released on the channel are actually filmed with this cell phone. Well, I'll make you a bud porn video, everybody. How's that sound? Oh, ooh, that was a bit harsh. Be careful with your glass jars. They do break, everybody. Here, I'm just going to put this back. I'll release a bud porn video in the next day or two for everybody, okay? I'll release a bud porn video for everybody. And then we can get you some nice, up-close, sexy, properly lit 4K shots and all that. Wait till you see it in actual high res with proper lighting. I'll tell you, it's not bad. It came out pretty good. It stinks. But yeah, Matthew Larson, no, I don't disagree with you in terms of having a better sort of video quality to it. But I actually can achieve that with the cell phone. So I just have to use it with my DJI, shoot it in 4K, properly light it, and it'll be all right. Joseph Jones, again, all of our live streams, typically, sometimes we'll have stuff to talk about. So like today, I wanted to talk about the one particular seed bank. But I mean, again, the midweek and Sunday live stream shows will typically address anything. The main point of them is a chance for our community to hang out, answer any questions anyone might have, and get to spend some time together, really. Since we started doing the live stream shows, reaching out, just really kind of reading everyone's messages and interacting with people has been a big part of what we try to do here, right? So, yeah. Yeah, but Matthew Larson, so wait till you see the video. I'll shoot you a bud porn video. Well, for everybody, obviously, but for you too, Matthew. So when you see this video, though, that I'll release, it's shot on the same cell phone that we're on right now. It's pretty astonishing. Yeah, well, it's basically what it is, right? Like, I mean, Joseph Jones, I mean, I've never wanted the live streams to be overly formalized or anything like that. It's about a hangout. It's about coming together. It's about shooting the shit, having a laugh. Sometimes, it could be a community team building experience when we get the trolls attacking, and then that's fun too. But yeah, just having time together, having fun. We the Potsquatch Growers Army. Hey, you too, brother. You keep it sexy as well for Visible Farms, man. We still got to get that video chat in time, in some time. Say hi to the wife and say hi to the tortoise, too. I love your tortoise. It's the coolest thing ever. I want one. All right. Keep it real, Visible Farms. Have a good one, buddy. Hey, thank you very much, Bradley909. I really love our live streams too. Sometimes it's hard for me to always make the standard show, but I do my darndest too as well. I love our hangouts too, everybody. And I want you to know, when we were not able to grow for like 6 or 7 months, and we were kind of in between labs and trying to sell the house and then save ourselves from being homeless and buying a new house. The live streams really helped me keep going, and all of your positive words and messages and care really meant a lot to me as well. And at the end of the day, thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Joseph Jones, it was the seed, what do they call themselves? Seedcity.com, seed-city.com. Gazzers bought A little over $700 worth of seeds, 200 seeds, and 0 popped. And then they basically told him to go fuck himself. We're going to release a video tomorrow to give the update in terms of Seed City. Because it's quite funny. They go, well, they think Gazzers doesn't have the ability to germinate a seed. The man's been breeding and growing cannabis for the better part of 30 years. I've literally got 3,000 to 5,000 seed in the house right now from Gazzers. Not only can the man germinate a seed, I'm pretty sure he can produce some of the best seed around. I've had some of the nicest, highest germination rates out of Gazzers beans out of anyone. He would go toe-to-toe with anyone in terms of quality of at least the initial seedling, because this is the first seedlings of his I've grown out, but the germination rates were great. We've got a good genetic diversity, and it's interesting. It's going to be a fun run for everyone. So really, I'm looking forward to that, right? So, Gazzers Squatch. He was here. Gazzers, you still there? Say hi. What's up, Bog Squatch? What's happening, baby? Gazzers, if you're still there, can you please send a message so you can say hi to everybody? We're talking about you. Actually, I think one of the few and only times I ever ordered seeds, they were from Spain as well. Other time was, and this was years ago when I was a kid. So one of the first things, except according to little Stewie, I'm not a breeder. Okay, Stewie. So the first F1 cross I did that I worked on back in the day, and I only took it to a fourth generation, but sadly I fucking lost all my seeds and had to shut down. And again, life happens, right? I stupidly went and got married and moved to Europe for a few years and kind of lost a lot of myself. But was a Northern Lights, funnily enough, Canadian strain, but I ordered that one from the Netherlands, and then the Master Kush actually that I used in that cross was out of Spain, and I ordered those online. It's one of my few and only times I ever ordered online, and they never showed up at first. It was really quite bad. So I messaged them. I was like, hey, my seeds didn't come. It's been a long time, and and they're like, fuck, it must have got lost in the post or intercepted here. We'll send you another batch. So it showed up. The new batch showed up really quick. They did priority post. It was great. I really appreciated that. Sadly, this company doesn't exist anymore, by the way, that I'm referencing. They used to do things properly back in the day. And then the next day, the original batch of seeds showed up. So I sent the company a message. I was like, look, I'm really sorry. The snail mail post one showed up the next day. And I'll pay you guys for it. We'll make it up. And they're like, no, we don't worry about it. These things happen. Don't worry about it. That's how a seed company is supposed to function. Little Stewie, 51 years of stupid doesn't mean shit. I know plenty of people older than you that look up to me, and I fucking teach them how to do shit. So don't mean shit, bud. Age is but a number. Experience and how a man carries himself, that says a lot. And I think you're showing everyone in the chat about how you carry yourself. It's weird. It's like you got two personalities, little Stewie. One of them's quite a nice guy that I quite like as a friend. The other's a fucking arrogant prick who really hasn't done much to prove their arrogance. Just saying, bud. Come on now, bud. I don't know what kind of bad day. Maybe you got in a fight with the wife or something. I don't know what's going on for you in your world. But, buddy, if you don't learn to check your fucking ego and being a dick, you don't have a place in this community. We've known each other for years. You've been a valued part of this fucking show and this. But come on now. One of the first fucking lessons I teach anyone in this fucking community, young and old alike, is check your ego at the fucking door. There's nothing wrong with being confident and sure of yourself or proud of yourself. Big fucking difference between being an arrogant little bitch. So, give your head a shake, bud. And if you're having a hard day, my good thoughts go out to you. But you don't need to take it out on me or the community, because you won't have a place in it if you continue. Okay? And that you can rest assured on there, Buttercup. Anyway, sorry about that, everybody. Sometimes certain things need to be said. Well, Boston Buds, I'll always do my darndest and I'll do my best. You know, I don't know everything, but I've been around for a while. And, you know, as I always say too, another great lesson for any growers just getting into the game. The true grower is the forever student. Okay. And that's the way to be and that's the way to go. You know, always keep an open mind. And hell, sometimes you're going to get scared of trying a new technique. Lord knows I have. That last run with those Q Samaris mites and the fucking brand nearly gave me a heart attack at first, but you don't learn, do you, little Stewie? You really don't. You don't learn, do you, bud? I'm the last person you need to ever go at or have a challenge with. And if you try, it doesn't end well, bud. I'm giving you a chance out here. Don't even need to apologize publicly. You can do it privately to me. Give your head a shake, bud. No, exactly, Matthew Larson. You know, I've won awards in local grow competitions and in a few in other parts of Canada. You know, for me, early on in my career, like, and here, I'll share a story about before I became the asshole I am now. Younger me, from the get-go, was quite. Don't even worry about it, Joseph Jones. Don't even worry about it. Not a big deal, buddy. Just little Stewie and I go back, so this is kind of a personal thing between they and I, and don't even worry about it. But you know, back when I first got into the game of growing, and I was maybe about 4 or 5 years in, I very quickly was outperforming growers who've been doing it for 20, 30 years. And, you know, I fucked up a lot at first, but I learned really quickly once I started kind of picking things up and I started really, you know, and then all of a sudden I became the dude that like a lot of people were bringing in. And I will be man enough to admit there was a point in time, would have been about 14, 15 years ago, where I was an arrogant prick. You know, I was very successful. A lot of people respected my abilities, and I was doing really well in the industry. And I kind of was an asshole. I was an arrogant prick. I was mean to people. I condescended on people, and I was a dick. And then one day I woke up and realized what I was doing, and I was just like, oh my God, you shit fuck. Just because you lucked out and somehow were really good at what you were doing, it doesn't give you the right to rain on people's parades. It doesn't give you the right to do that, because the fact of the matter is there's always a bigger fish out there. There's always someone out there who's going to be able to outperform you. And that's kind of where, for me, in my, you know, late teens, early 20s, where I really had to make a big about face and be man enough, strong enough to admit the issues within myself and look myself hard in the mirror and look at myself and go, what the hell are you doing? Do you want to be that blowhard piece of shit? No, you don't. At the end of the day, I really actually just care about helping people and then making an honest buck and something I love. And so at the end of the day, you know, it took me a while to kind of come to terms with that. And it was a hard pill to swallow, but, you know, it's the way to be. There's no need to go around beating people over the head with your ego. That doesn't mean you can't be confident and sure of yourself. That doesn't mean you can't stand up for yourself. And that doesn't mean you can't take on a bully. Okay, there's a difference there. I'm still very confident in myself, and I'll go toe-to-toe with anyone in the goddamn industry. That's not my ego talking. That's called, I have faith in where I've been and where I'm going and what I've done, you know? But nothing has helped in any community if we can't check our ego. Nothing is achieved by being an arrogant prick. Because really, at the end of the day, when you come off as an arrogant prick, you just look insecure. You look like the only way you can make yourself feel better about yourself is by shitting on people and coming down on people. And that's just sad. Because you can't feel confident in your own ability, your own experience, your own memory, your own day-to-day without the need of beating someone down. And we, the Potsquatch Growers Army, do not stand for such things. Okay? A Potsquatch, the meaning of what it means to be a Potsquatch in this community is, it is an invitation to be the best version of yourself that you can be. You know? It's an invitation to rise up, to be better than you ever been. You know? Be compassionate and care for people. That's what the 420 community in general is about. 420 is a plant that can help all of us. It's a medicine. It's also a hell of a lot of fun recreationally. You know? It's a lot of things. And everyone, just take a moment here. I would like everyone to meet your new moderator, Gregory Allen Reed. Greg has been a very active person in the online community. Greg and I have gotten to know each other a lot. Greg was one of the leading, you know, bodybuilders and fitness gurus of truth in the States. Man has a huge career, lives in Beverly Hills. Very accomplished man. Also found out he was 60, and I was like, how the hell did you fucking age that well, you prick? Everyone thinks I'm 55. But also one of the most humblest, kindest, sweetest men I've ever met. Good dude, okay? Greg is someone who's learned the true ways of being a Potsquatch and what it means to be a Potsquatch. Greg is, even if he doesn't know the answer, will try to help other people. He'll try to tag other people to bring them in to help people in the community. And that's what that means, okay? So welcome, Greg. Greg, you're great. You're wonderful. You're valued in the community. Einstein and Van Island Beauty, please no fighting. Einstein, Van Island Beauty, I'm asking you quietly right now, no infighting. We treat each other with respect. Please stop. Both of you. Both of you take a deep breath and calm down. That's enough. Please and thank you. Thank you, Einstein. I appreciate that. So, again, you're literally disproving the whole point, boys, of what I'm talking about right now. We're allowed to have personal disagreements, but not in the show. And take it from me. We don't need to be an arrogant prick. People are a lot more impressed by someone standing on their own 2 feet and being proud of themselves and knowing what they can do without feeling the need to prove it or beat someone over the head with it. Okay? I'll also go on to Sarah. Do you think I've agreed on something with all of my fellow growers? Hell, me and Pilgor are very close friends. We stand by each other publicly as brands. We stand by each other as friends. Pilgor, even though he was in the middle of a bloody harvest, okay, on the day where we had the biggest troll attack we've ever had on the show, Pilgor came and sat in this show and helped me fucking block those cocksuckers. Do you think Pilgor and I have agreed on everything? No, hell, me and Pilgor have different ideas on growing techniques all the time. That's part of the fun of our friendship. Seeing things a different way helps both of us to grow further and to see further into possibility. That's the kind of growth. That's the kind of community you need. Because there is an unwritten rule that is truer than fuck. Okay, Van Island Beauty. Buddy, this is not beef, but you're on a timeout now, bud. You are to not speak ill or insulting to anyone in my community. If you can't, you'll be gone. We've talked personally, Van Island Beauty. I liked you. But buddy, what are you doing? I just told you to stop. Because guess what? You're disrespecting me and my show now by being a cunt. Stop. I very rarely get mad. Stop. People, if we can't be nice to each other and be fair and respectful to each other, we don't have to like each other, okay? Then I'm just not going to allow you in the community. Hell, maybe I'll even just stop doing the live streams. Grow the fuck up, children. Come on now. Everybody be calm now. We can get back to what's important. Okay? So anyway. No, it's okay, LST UK Big Bud. People get worked up sometimes. It happens. That's the thing. We are an ape-like species. We are evolved-ish. But we've got a long way to go. Everybody has bad days. Everybody struggles at times. But again, I will take it back to what I was saying. What it means to be a Potsquatch is to stand up and be the best version of yourself, even on your hard days. On the days where you'd rather just tell the world to go fuck themselves or be a dick, don't. That is what true strength and integrity is. Okay? I don't care if the rest of YouTube is a bunch of stupid bullshit. Not on this channel. Okay? All right. Joseph, again, what are you bloody doing? Now I'm going to have to put you on a timeout now. Joseph, are you not hearing anything I fucking said, bud? Button it. Jesus Christ. You're on timeout now, too. Well, I mean, Matthew Larson, I mean, grow off between friends can be fun, but I mean, I've never been a big fan of grow offs unless it's a formalized cannabis cup with blind independent testing, because really those can be fun. I mean, I'll do those, right? But at the end of the day, grow offs in communities, I mean, it's just, there's certain things I try to avoid, because at the end of the day, for some weird reason, arrogance and ego gets into it. I'm not saying I'm perfect either. Lord knows I've had my issues over the years with it too, but this is not what this community is about. This is supposed to be a positive, safe place for everybody, okay? And if you start acting out and shit-talking people or being mean or condescending, okay, that's not allowed. Go do it. Go be a juvenile somewhere else. And we'll be better off for it. The man. Okay, so when you say lengthy, do you mean it's stretching out quite high? My best guess would be either lack of light or you've got your light too far away would be the easiest way to do that. Also, to slow stretch, you can continue to top your plant, which will then redirect the growth down into the bottom parts of the plant into the secondary shoots, which will also help. Hey, much love back to Ireland, Bog Squatch, my friend. Don't worry about it, Red Claws. If you mean Grandpa's nutsack, that was something that was brought up years ago by someone who proved to be a fake, pretending to be a breeder they were not. And that would be the one who was known as Dale Rook. We never received Grandpa's nutsack. None of that ever came through. It was all a complete sort of smoke line. Gazzers can attest to that happenstance when it happened. So sadly, Gene Noir, we never received those genetics. I don't currently possess those. If one day we can maybe get our hands on Grandpa's nutsack, we will happily do that. But that's all we can do. If we don't have the genes, we can't grow it. And little Stewie, you're proving to show the point that you literally have missed the entire fucking point. Good to see those 51 years are serving you well. Hey, no worries, LST UK Big Bud. I'm honored and happy to help. No, and it's going to be okay, Aussie Lone Wolf. I mean, the cannabis community's been this way for a long time. It was this way when I first started YouTube. It's part of why I got into the YouTube world of doing this, because I wanted to try to help affect change. So, we're getting there, slowly but surely. So Matthew Larson, in terms of a 5-gallon soil pot, what do you mean in terms of limits? The limits, I need a bit more definition of what you're thinking in terms of a basic limitation of what you're looking to. I mean, a 5-gallon pot and dirt is the way to go. I love soil. I love 5 gallons. A 5-gallon bucket is kind of the bare minimum go-to. I do have a very close friend who's a very renowned grower out here, and he only ever runs in 3 gallons. But he does a quick flip perpetual though too, so it works for his style and how he does things. But so what do you mean in general? Is my question, Matthew. If you can give me a little bit more, I'm happy to answer the question. Yes, but Matthew Larson too. If they're root bound, stretching will be a secondary. You're going to see predominantly cannibalization of the lower nodal levels before you'll see an overly huge stretch in terms of that. So if you see a stretching with lower level being desiccated or cannibalized by the plant itself, then that could also be the issue. But I would say probably the number one cause of that stretch is going to be your light either being lacking in intensity, lacking in the right photo spectrum, or being just a little bit too far away. So you know what? You might be able to fix it by just dropping it down a few inches. What do you mean by weird, the man? Like, are you talking about your foliage is having some very weird things in terms of shape, structure? Um, if you want to send me a picture, that would help. Little Stewie, when you put your foot in your mouth in a show and were really disrespectful to me and to the community, maybe trying an attempt at humor is not the best way to go. Especially when I've also had to put out a couple of infightings between other people. I am a professional comedian. The use of true comedy is a very powerful sword, and knowing when to use it and when not to is kind of part of it. I know, but Van Allen Beauty, just don't do that kind of shit to anybody, okay? It's all good. Okay, awesome. The man, if you could share that on the Facebook group, that'll help me as well as a bunch of us as well to work on that. Joseph Jones, it was some derogatory remarks at another person in the show, and so just I can't remember the exact one. Again, a lot of messages are coming through, and so it's just that's what it was. Stewie, you're allowed to make jokes, Stewie, but there's a place and a time. And to be fair, I would have appreciated you owning up and apologizing for what you said, but I also gave you permission to do that privately as well. So you're welcome to do that. Van Island Beauty, like I was saying, sharing at the beginning of the show, I'm probably going to keep them in their solo cups for my technique of stressing them out and getting them to kind of bounce back and do that for about roughly another week. So I'm hoping to have them to a place where I'm happy to put them into the new flowering room and transplant and do that in roughly a week would be my best guess. Joseph Jones, I censor anyone who's being a dick. Someone was just removed as a moderator as well today. So yeah, if you're being rude or being unfair to people or shitty to people, I will remove it. If I'm being a dick, I will publicly make an apology. I've done that once before because I had to, because I lost my shit one day. Okay? This is a safe place for everybody. That's the whole point. Okay? We're here to build each other up. We're here to all worship at the altar of the weed titty and our love for growing, whether we're someone growing their first plant in a closet with a light bulb from a lamp or someone running a 1600 lamp op. Okay? This is a place for all people. We're here to share, to learn, have fun, have a laugh. We don't have to like each other all the time. Doesn't mean we're always going to get along, but we can be adults and we can actually watch how we carry ourselves. And if we find ourselves getting worked up, sometimes it happens to me, you take a step back, calm down. In a perfect world, I would never have to block anyone. I would never have to put anyone on a timeout. Because as much as it's my channel, I would rather not feel like Papa Squatch. I'd just like to be Uncle Potsquatch. You know? But I will step in when I have to. Peace and love, Miss K. We'll talk to you later. Ooh, how's the lemon haze hitting you, Tony Clifton? Eric Grant's Artistry 1. No such thing as a noob question or stupid question. We all start somewhere. Okay. So I'm going to answer that question in a second. Joseph, okay. Eric, can you give me a minute? I will try to go back and find Joseph Jones. Joseph Jones, the fact is, if you were listening, I even commented on what you said that wasn't okay before I put you on a timeout there, bud. So this is where you need to listen better, because I really don't have the time to go back in time when we're trying to answer people's questions. Bear with me here. I'm trying to find it. I believe it was something, I mean, I'm struggling to find it right now, but I believe it was something along the lines of where somewhat such and such reminds me of such and such and such and such. And it was an insulting, derogatory remark. Regardless if it meant as a joke. We're not a fucking frat house. Grow the fuck up, everybody. Stop taking stabs and quibs at each other. It's not okay. And if you don't like it, go fucking infight somewhere else on a different channel. This is not what the Potsquatch Growers Army is about. Anyway, I'm going to go answer a good question that I feel needs a good answer. It was Eric's question. I'm looking for, there it is. Eric Grant's question is going to be answered now. So, is it a bad thing if I start and grow my seeds in the same pot for the plant's life? A newbie question, I know. There are some people who will grow in a giant garden bed and not feel that there's an issue with that. I'm personally a big advocate of keeping my plants segregated from birth. Okay. I know that gazzers often will start a few different plants in one pot. That wouldn't be my approach to it, but for him, it works just fine. I've seen him do that. I've seen Mikey, Texas Squatch, do it that way too. And it works just fine for him. The only real drawback that me personally I would see in terms of growing out a number of plants in the same pot for a long term, okay, is these plants are going to start to fight each other. They're going to start to fight each other for nutrition. They're going to start to fight each other for root space. And they're not going to basically... So really, the strongest plant will win out, and then the other ones will have a bit of a detriment. So, for example, if you had just taken a couple of extra pots and then put them in each in their own pot, they're allowed to, kind of live in their own little world, their own little medium, and do what they'd like to do. And that's really, kind of the thing there, right? So, yeah, do we have like some weird, like, fiery harvest moon or something? Is that why everybody's so uppity today? I don't know. Tony, can I ask a question? How big are you growing your plants? How much light do you have? And what size bucket do you have in it? We say about, not a boot. I know it sounds similar to Americans, but we say about, not a boot. A boot would be two O's. We say about, like an O-A-U kind of a sound. About. Yeah, Matthew Larson, autos are definitely, but we weren't talking about changing pots. We were talking about a bunch of different plants in the same pot, though, Matthew. That was what the question was. Yes, Walter Weissman, traditional high-intensity discharge lighting systems have no place in the grow world. We are actually an LED lighting brand sold all over the world. We are our own lighting brand. I have exclusively used LEDs now for the better part of a decade. I switched to LED before the technology was there, and shitty little lights cost $1 billion fucking dollars. Bob's cousin, I don't pH anything. Never have. Okay, so Tony Clifton, you've got an HPS 600 watt and a 400 watt. All right. So you got a basic coverage of that. Now, how big is the area that you're expecting those two lights to cover? How do you have them set up, and what are the size of your pots? 3 gallons, but smaller pots seem to work better, like 2 gal. Okay, well, I'm of the opposite approach. So I would actually put my plants into 5 gallons. I would then train them out and bushy. Also, remember too, if you don't have, this is where scrogging is a thing. I don't like scrog nets. I prefer to approach it in a different way. But if the plant is always feeling like it has to hold its buds up, it's detracting energy from growing the buds to trying to hold itself up. So that's another trick, is to kind of be mindful of with our plants. We want to try to make sure that they're not feeling the need to try to hold themselves up all the time. Because again, then we're detracting energy from the buds themselves. I mean, Tony, you could switch to a new light. I mean, here's a valid question, actually. Tony, how old are the bulbs in your lights? Because even after 1 or 2 runs, an HPS bulb or metal halide bulb is going to start sucking more power, lose lumens, and become less efficient as well. How many hours are on your current bulbs that you have in your lighting system? But Tony, though, this is actually a really good question, because I mean, it's been so long since I've worked with traditional HID, so I actually it was like, it's a very good point, actually, because our bulbs, HID bulbs, after a run or two, start losing efficacy. They start sucking more power, producing more heat and less light. How many runs or how many hours do you have on your bulbs? I'm not 100% sure on the timeout, Joseph Jones. I don't control the length of the time. It is a built-in function of YouTube, so I'm not 100% sure on that one. Scissor A. Yes, it is. It's an amusing way to say it, but again, please don't. Thank you, Texas Squatch. Okay, so the bulbs are good. Okay, so basically, I think, Tony, what I would say is approach it your training a little bit differently. I would put it up into a slightly bigger pot as well. Um, are you lollipopping your plant, stripping out your bottoms? Are you defoliating? Like, what are you? What's your approach during veg? What's your approach during flower? I mean, this is getting to the point where, Tony, if you'd like me to give you a call, if you live in North America, I have a North American wide calling plan. So if you want to email me your phone number, I could give you a quick call and we could kind of talk really quickly, and you can kind of give me the information I need to try to help you assess things. Mm. Trichromes rock your socks. I mean, I definitely say that you're correct that a lot of people don't necessarily do that. I think part of the loaded thing, in my humble 2 cents on that one, is that the same strain can have different effects for everybody. To give you like a very simple explanation of that, I've got friends where if they smoke sativa, they get really tired. If they smoke indica, they get energy. I've got friends who, if they smoke a sativa, get very aggressive, but then if they smoke an indica, they don't. And I've got other friends that if they smoke an indica, they get extremely aggressive, and then if they smoke a sat, they don't. Um, I've got people, so like you got to remember the biochemistry of each individual is a little bit different. So the active biochemical compounds within cannabis can react very differently for every individual person. So that's where it's hard to ever make a claim that this strain does this or this strain does that, because it's too generalized. And so I think that's where, yes, analyzing it is lacking on YouTube for sure. But if you do analyze it, you need to remember to talk about it in terms of my personal experience is this. But you could also have someone else who's sitting there with you smoking the same thing, and it's a completely different experience, right? Yeah, I got one buddy too. Yeah, if he smokes indica, like he becomes a raging asshole. I've actually had to knock him out of the bar, or else he's going to get hurt by a bunch of people. He was a close friend, and the next day he woke up and he was just like, "Thank you for doing that. I was really being a dick." And I was like, "That's cool, buddy." It's mostly most of my biker friends, to be fair. Bog Squatch, I'd love a classic hash run too. Like hash plant the strain or making hash? I'm confused. What critters are you talking about, Tony? And which funguses have you been dealing with? No, no, Joseph Jones, Texas Squatch. We're not gonna. Please don't time out Joseph now. I'm addressing this. Joseph, you were put on timeout once, as were two other people at the same time who are all getting heated up. You made a comment at someone about such and such is such and such. Someone called you, well, Joseph Jones is this, or that. I put them on a timeout at the same time, okay? So it was a statement that would have happened because I have to focus really hard and click the phone a bunch of times to be able to put anyone on a timeout. Mikey's trying to help me here, okay? So, Mike, we don't need to do that one at the moment right now, okay? We're not sending you on your way. We're asking you just to be respectful. And then you repetitively ask questions when really the smart thing to be done is like I stepped out of line, just say you're sorry, move on. Everything's fine. Everybody makes mistakes. It's allowed. Okay? Lord knows I have sometimes. Okay? But that's the whole point. That's what it is. Bog Squanch, I don't know if I'm going to be making a batch of hash today, but I will, if not today, definitely be making one tomorrow. So maybe we could do a live, or maybe I can make a video out of it. I mean, it's not going to be like a traditional. I'm making bubble hash, which I guess has been around long enough that one could call it a semi new age traditional motif, maybe. But that's what I'm doing the next one. So spider mites and PM. So, Tony Clifton, in terms of PM, okay, the reason why you're going to have a reoccurring PM issue is that you've got to do a hardcore deep clean. So, PM spores, even if you've got a few spores in your environment, once it gets invaded with PM spores, it's very hard to get rid of. So, you got to clean all of your equipment. You got to break it down and clean everything. You got to clean your space and then do it again. Then do it again, do it again. They can hide in the tiniest nooks and crevices on equipment or in a grow space. Once you eliminate the spores, okay, you will struggle to have it come back because the spores don't magically appear. They have to be present to attack your crop, okay? And also, in terms of spider mites, they can be really tricky. They're a war of attrition. They hatch on a very quick cycle. So if traditional insecticides aren't working, I would, one, get through the next run. Bug bomb the shit out of your space. I bug bomb my space every single run. I'm going to be bug bombing my grow room tonight. Okay. So bug bomb it. Get rid of any dirt that you've had. Anything that would have come in contact with it. Just fucking turf it. And then stay on top of it. Preventative maintenance once you get on top of things, as well as how we stay on top of stuff. I would also, in terms of the PM, I would keep a really close eye on, is there anywhere where spores could be sneaking into your grow space? Like, is there outside air somehow coming in that's not being filtered? Or, start looking and breaking it down, all the different variables and areas of your room. Okay. Um, you know, that's the way to be. Uh, Einstein, I don't know if you typed that correctly. What? Uh, it's been interesting, that's for sure, Boston Buds. I'd love to have nanobots, Tony Clifton. I mean, could you everyone imagine if we had nanobots that we could send into our grows that could kill all bugs and destroy spores? That'd be fucking dope. I agree. Wake and bake now. We love you too, buddy. Oh, yeah. Spell check's a dink. Autocorrect happens on my phone a lot. So Matthew Larson, you can send me an email. Ganja on your mama, could you please send my email? And if not, that's okay. I can type it on this here. Typing it for you now, my friend. There you go, everybody. So this is the best email to get a hold of me. And then at the same time, too, there is the Potsquatch Growers community on Facebook. So I'm always pretty aware there. I am on the Discord as well. I'm not as present on the Discord as I am on the Facebook group and everything else. But I'm quite busy. I do my best. But if anyone wants to send me an email, that's the email to send it to right there, and it will be good to go. Well, that just sounds like a fun, sticky time for everybody, Grimity. Right, Felicia, Casper, Skippy, Limpy? I agree. Nanobots attacking the pests and spores would be so good. I don't think it exists, but maybe one day. One day, like Star Trek level weed, you know? I agree, Gregory Allen Reed. I agree. Van Island Beauty, you're doing it again, bud. Come on now. That's not we're not gonna, no timeouts now. Van Island Beauty, that's not a respectful statement, okay? Not only are you speaking out against someone, okay? You're gonna make any women here maybe feel uncomfortable, okay? This is a safe place for all. Come on now. We all know better. Let's not do that anymore. So Tony, have you cleaned out both your dehumidifier and your humidifier and like broken it down and like scrubbed it down with something to kill the spores? Yes, Einstein, there are women in our community. I know, it's shocking, right? Why would they put up with us? But yes, there are female Potsquatches abound. She's doing well, working a lot, but she's doing quite well. She's on set right now, shooting another Netflix television show. But she's doing well. Working probably too much, but she's doing something she loves and working her way up in an industry she cares about. So that's the thing. Matthew Larson says, change the filters. What's up, Dudist Lenny? Yeah, once every 2 years. Okay, so Tony Clifton. So typically, the best way to approach your grow, okay, is if you have a crop where you get something like PM hitting you, okay, if it hits you, boom. The second you get through that grow or tear it down, you should be breaking down all equipment, scrubbing it out, flushing it out, every nook and cranny. Like even if there's cracks in your floor, get in there, bud. Clean everything on everything that you can, okay? Because at the end of the day, like I said, a few little spores can exist in the slightest little place and it can propagate and come back right quick. Exactly. See, Wake and Bake now is saying the same thing I am, right? So when you do have a thing happening, right? Once we get through the run, we got to kind of pause for a moment and break our equipment down and work on it and clean it out. It's just part of the thing, right? So. Oh yeah. Oh, and by the way, I saw but it's continuous grow. Well, Tony Clifton, though, my point though is the only continuous grow that can function or work is one that's healthy and clean. So just because you have to pause your continuous nature, okay, There's ways to segregate, go on to lockdown, and work from there. Okay. Much love to you as well, Felicia. But that's one of the things that we have to do as growers. It's just part of it, right? Uh, the second you see things like PM and stuff showing up in a grow, perpetual or not, you gotta pause. You gotta break it down and clean. Okay? You gotta do that. It's just one of the unwritten rules of trying to deal and mediate and mitigate issue. Ooh, Matthew Larson, that's heartbreaking, my friend. And that's where, like, when it comes to setting up a new space, like I take my time, and if I hire someone to do something, I'm very careful about who I bring in to work on my stuff for a number of reasons, security and a bunch of other stuff. But at the same time, always double check. And I'm not saying you didn't either, but you missed some stuff, and I've had that happen too. Again, I think one of the last lessons I will leave everybody with for this live stream, okay, is that at the end of the day, there you go, Matthew. So there you go, perfect. I'm glad you got her dialed in. That's great. But the thing to remember for we as growers, and this is probably going out to both the new growers and especially the more advanced growers. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing something. It doesn't matter how much you know. Mistakes can happen all the time. Okay? And you can, like hell, I've been doing this a long time. I'm quite a respected, renowned grower in my part of the world. Maybe even revered by some. And the fact of the matter is mistakes can still happen. Tony Clifton, yes, I feel you, medical patients. I'm a medical grower too, but at the end of the day, you cannot be producing something with PM for medical patients, especially. So, really, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you just got to kind of cut your losses and quickly address it as fast as you can. Because really, if you work hard, you can address and break down a grow, segregate your issues, and treat for everything in a day or two, and then you can kind of get back to it. Okay. So I'm just saying it's doable, but especially if I was a medical grower, which I am, but I mean like yourself as well, you need to take care of these things because it's part of what we do as medical growers. Because cannabis, when properly executed, is a heaven-sent, life-saving thing. What does a medical grower mean? Einstein, for me, here in Canada, I possess a medical grow license. I'm licensed for growing medical cannabis. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm also a neuropathic pain patient, which entitles me under our charts and rights and freedoms and the ACMPR program currently in Canada to have a medical license, both to grow for myself, and then if I had other patients, I'm allowed to grow for them as well. So that's what that means in Canada. Okay, it's someone who's been granted, because we've had for over 20 years, we've had a medical cannabis system where you can either have someone grow for you or grow your own for your health and well-being here in Canada. Okay, so that's what that means. But Roman, give me a call after the show. I'll tell you all about what today's show's been like. It's been both good and odd. Am I a doctor? No. And I wouldn't trust a doctor to grow my cannabis. And to be fair, most doctors have no fucking clue of how to actually consult someone on medical cannabis. So I'm not a doctor, but I wouldn't trust a doctor when it comes to medical cannabis. Most doctors in Canada will blame any ailment you have with cannabis. I am a educated professional medical grower. I am also a medical cannabis patient myself. So, for example, I consult people. I make products for people. I've had 5 people off the surgery list with stage 4 cancer. Okay. So, no, I'm not a doctor, but I am someone who's qualified to talk about medical cannabis. Sadly, most doctors aren't. But that's more of a function of prohibition and closed-minded medical world stuff, right? So, Einstein, give me a shout. Shoot me an email. We can talk privately, and I can. I'm happy to try to help. or give you my humble 2 cents on it, okay? Gone to your mom. I mean, a lot of the world is sadly behind the times in that regard. And I think the one thing I'll share about the UK that I mean, if I was an English citizen of the UK, the UK for many years has been one of the largest producers of medical cannabis in the world, if not the largest. And your country's been doing that for a very long time. So that has been allowed as part of the normal production of your country for a very, very long time. But then medical cannabis access to your people hasn't really been on the priority of it. So I couldn't tell you why, except maybe weird political bullshit. I do think it's hypocritical, total hypocrisy. It's a load of crap. And I believe the government of the UK needs to give its head a shake and think realistically about reality. Because how can you be taken seriously as a government while allowing something like that to exist for many, many, many years and not addressing it? Because if you don't, it kind of sends a statement of the world's people matter, but our people don't. At least that's how I would interpret it. And yes, I mean, obviously there's always the age-old money. They're making money. So, of course, I'll go there. But I'm trying to go another route on it rather than just blaming money and capitalism. Because that's kind of a given with almost anything in this world, sadly. That's why I'm a socialist capitalist. I'm not against making money, but I'm also here to help people. And if you make a bunch of money, you should put it to work and do some good shit. Oh, did the Braves win? Fuck yeah, I totally missed that. But that's awesome. Go Braves. Congratulations to them as well. Gene Noir, for the people it's not, but medical cannabis production in terms of large facilities very much is. Look it up. It's been a thing for many years. The UK has been leading medical cannabis production for the world for a very long time. It's kind of fucked, actually. Look it up. It's a thing. Yeah, no, there's been a lot. Israel has done a lot of very, very groundbreaking research in terms of cannabinoids. Probably one of the coolest medical research projects done out of Israel over the last number of years in terms of cannabis would be the implementation of utilization of medical cannabis and cannabinoids in terms of treating dementia and other things as such like that. Look into it, everybody. Look into it. It's very, very cool. They've done some really groundbreaking work in terms of the applications and some of the more in-depth science of medical cannabis. It's pretty nifty. Check it out. Google it. It's awesome. All right, everybody. We've hit 2 hours. I'm going to call it to today. It's been a great show. I've enjoyed the show, everybody. I've for the most part, valued most of it. I will share, and this isn't directed at most of you. This is directed at some of you. And this isn't me scolding you either. Wasn't impressed with how some of you behaved yourselves today. And yes, you can, Potsquatch. I make weed moonshine with my friend on his still quite regularly when we get the chance. But I will say, though, that, I didn't appreciate some of the comments today, and I tried to kind of quietly calm people down and just say, like, hey, come on, let's stop this, guys. Girl season day. It's happening. So, hopefully it doesn't happen on Sunday. Okay? I love you all, okay? I'm going to go relax now. Remember, the true grower is a forever student. The true grower makes educated, stupid decisions. Remember, the true grower and the true Potsquatch is not a dick fuck. They aren't arrogant. We don't shit on each other. We build each other up. Together we stand, divided we fall. Good luck, everybody. I love you. Okay, bye.